What we do here is go back.
Hello friends and welcome to my new video. It's Sunday morning here in Germany. It's very early and I just woke up around an hour ago and I checked my YouTube feed and I saw that there is a vinyl tag going on. Normally I'm not a fan of this kind of stuff, but I just watched Carsten Olsen's video and I really liked the questions, and this is just like a fun video, so I said to myself, why not? And it's all about 20 questions about collecting and favorite records and all kind of stuff. And I can't wait to start. Let's go! Alright, so the first question is, how many records do you own? Currently I'm owning 2,500 records, and yeah, the collection is still growing, but I also thought about getting rid of some stuff. So it's always like an organic process in a way, but at the moment it's around 2,500. The second question is, what kind of record player do you have? I think I once made a video about that. It's a custom built clear audio turntable from Germany, and I'm still in love with it, and there are still so many possibilities of upgrading it, and this is like a piece of gear you can keep for a lifetime. So the third question is, how old were you when you started collecting? I started collecting in 2008, around 2008, and I was born in 1991, so I was 17 at the time. Yeah, been some years already. Next year will be my 10th anniversary. Fourth question is, what is the oldest record you own? Well, that's hard to say, because sometimes when you're checking out Discogs you can't really see when a record was released, but this might probably be one of my oldest. This is Rhapsody in Blue and An American in Paris. It's a German copy. So the movie was released in 1951, and the equal US release to this record was released in 1952. So this must be, yeah, maybe early 1950s. It's hard to say. It's on a Capital label. It's a 10-inch, by the way. So that's what it looks like. And by the way, beautiful condition for a record that's yeah, so old. It's incredible. But like I said, I'm not sure when this record was released, so I decided to pick another one. This is the soundtrack to Breakfast at Tiffany's. Such a beautiful movie, and of course soundtrack arranged by Henry Mancini. And this was released in 1961. This is very early, maybe not a first but a second US pressing. And if you can see it, the cover is still in shrink. So this is a record from 1961 in beautiful condition, and it's so old. It has the Columbia, the RCA Victor Deep Groove label, and yeah, that's a beautiful piece of art, and it's really old. So, question number 5. What is the first record you ever got? That's very hard to answer, because I don't know if I ever told that story, but when I started collecting, I went to a flea market, and I didn't even have a turntable at that time, and I saw a box of records and I was going through it, and it was already late afternoon, and I just picked out some classic 80s soundtracks. I still remember there was Top Gun and Back to the Future and maybe Footloose, something like that. And I asked the lady, how much are these records? And then she said to me, there are €1 each, or €5 if you take the entire crate. And then I said, well, I don't have a turntable, but €5 for an entire crate of records doesn't sound that bad. So I bought all of them, around 60 records, and there were some nice soundtracks. There was some Simon and Garfunkel, some classic rock, and all kind of stuff. Actually, I ended up giving away most of them, but those were actually the first records that I bought. And the next question is, What is the first record you got with your own money? Of course, I paid them with my own money, but I bought this collection on the flea market on a Sunday, and I was so thrilled about having records and without even having a turntable. So on Monday I went to my local record store and I bought 2 records because those were the first ones I was really interested in. And it was exactly this copy. It's a simply vinyl copy of Nirvana's Nevermind. Paid $20 for this one back in 2008. And I also bought a copy of the Pulp Fiction soundtrack. So you see, my 90s obsession started early, and those were the first 2 records I paid with my own money, more or less. So let's see. What is your favorite colored vinyl? I have to say, I'm not a fan of colored vinyl. I don't get why some people just buy records for their color, but what I really like is this kind of pink, black, sparked, marbled, I don't know what color this is called, but this looks really cool to me. And this is also an awesome album. If you don't know it, it's by a band called Fjord. This is some fantastic post-hardcore emo from Germany with German lyrics, fantastic stuff, and I really like this color. The next question is, what is a discount album you own? And that's actually, I decided to show a whole box set. This is the Norah Jones vinyl collection, her entire discography on Analog Productions, and as you can see, this is still sealed. So why am I showing this? And because this was actually a discounted record. I got this because a website failed with their discount, so I got the entire box set for $50 back in the day, including shipping. That was, believe me, that was the best buy I ever had in my vinyl collector's life. It's still sealed because I have most of them as individual releases, but that was crazy, believe me. The next question is, what is your prized possession? Actually, I sold most of my really valuable records because I don't understand why it's necessary to have a Depeche Mode 12-inch single that is worth like 600 euros. So I sold all this kind of stuff that I got with age and time and used the money to buy other stuff. But just to show, one of my prized possessions, this is an original US copy of Affinity. Of course, a Swirl copy is unaffordable for me, but I got this one really cheap on a Facebook group some time ago, and yeah, great album. Next question. A record by a female artist. And there are so many, but I decided to show Nancy Sinatra, Roots, and of course Boots, not Roots. Of course, These Boots Are Made for Walking is the famous hit on this album, but you know, I just love this kind of classy 60s style, and Nancy Sinatra, actually I want to collect all of her albums, but they are kind of hard to find in good condition in Germany. So this is the first one I got and the only one at the moment. Nancy Sinatra, Boots, released in the 60s. The next question is a record by your favorite band, and I don't like that question because we all know there is no favorite band. I just decided to show Sonic Youth Daydream Nation because this is an all-time classic, and there are pretty much, there is always this period of time when you're into one band, and I was really deep into Sonic Youth some months ago, so I decided to show Daydream Nation, an alternative classic. An impulse buy. And there is a funny story about the next record I will show. Back in my earliest days of collecting, I went to a lot of flea markets, and I early got into the genre of psychedelic rock and especially krautrock, and I already knew that some records can be so expensive and so rare. And keep in mind that that was in the pre-mobile internet time, so there was no iPhone to check Discogs or Google an album title. So I went to a flea market, and then I saw this album, and I said to myself, oh my god, this must be crazy. It has this gimmick cover, and I mean, look at the cover, this looks insane. I said to myself, oh my god, this must be a psychedelic jam, and it was just €1. So I bought it, I drove home as fast as I could and threw it on the turntable, and while the first grooves were playing, I was checking out Discogs, and it's a horrible German Schlager album, which is the ugliest kind of German folk music. I mean, I should have known after seeing this face, but back in the days, you know what I mean. So this is ugliest music. But that's actually such a funny story, and that's why I decided to keep this record. And I mean, the cover art is awesome, isn't it? So this is Michael Holm, Labyrinth, and from now on I will never ever buy another album by Michael Holm. All right, a gift. Frank Zappa, Hot Rats. This was a gift by my good VC friend Ben, RyanRocks84. And I also still kept his letter that he wrote to me. He once sent this as VCLT, and it was one of my first Zappa records, and it's still one of my favorites. Beautiful album. The next question, most played record. And that's also very hard to say, but I decided to show Metallica's Master of Puppets, because when I think back, this probably was one of the records that I played most. I listened to this in the car, on the turntable, on my iPhone, and this is just I listened to this album like seriously, like a thousand of times actually. A rarity. I just decided to show an original copy of Neil Young, Harvest Moon. If you can see that, that's how much it was back in the early 90s. Beautiful album. I love Neil Young, and this is one of my highlights of my Neil Young collection. Alright, a rainy day record. Oh yeah, that's one of my favorite questions, and the answer came to my mind quickly. So, if it is just a normal rainy day record, you should be listening to Nick Drake, Five Leaves Left. If the rainy day is really grey and you're in a bad mood, you should listen to Nick Drake, Brighter Later. And if the rainy day is so grey that you're short before committing suicide, you should listen to Nick Drake's Pink Moon. That's the perfect rainy day record to my mind. A feel-good album, so the right opposite, 60s Soul. This is so good. This is of course Aretha Franklin, and this one is called Aretha Now. It's a German first pressing on Stern Music. It sounds brilliant, and I love this 60s Soul. I mean, it always gets a smile on my face, and yeah, Aretha Franklin is just one of my favorite female artists. The next one, a nostalgic record. This would be The Offspring, Americana, classic late 90s punk rock album, and I was listening a lot to this in my youth and in my punk days, and I still remember that we made a trip with our class back in 2004 or something like that, and we were listening to this record all day long. So I still have great memories to this one, and it's a fantastic album. A record store day purchase. I bought the Future Sound of London Accelerator last year. This is the version limited to 500 copies, including a bonus 7-inch. And of course, this is early 90s electronic classic. If you don't know it, be sure to check it out. Future Sound of London. And last but not least, the last question is a recent purchase. So, I just bought the soundtrack to About a Boy by Badly Drawn Boy, and of course this is a Nick Hornby film, the same guy that did High Fidelity, and this is just a beautiful laid-back Sunday kind of singer-songwriter guitar album. Beautiful movie, beautiful soundtrack, and this can be found very cheap. It was released in 2002. Alright friends, that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked my little selection, and it would be cool to see some more videos. So if you're thinking about participating to this contest, feel free to do that and leave me your link to your video and I'll be checking it out. Okay, thanks a lot. See you next time. Bye bye.